Welcome back, Spearfishing Down Under. This episode, I am going to take you on a dive locally very recently with a really good friend of mine, Nikki Watt. Now, Nikki is Bryson Sheehy, who you would have seen recently on one of my episodes and was also my partner at the Australian Spearfishing Championships. That is his fiancée. Now, Nikki is an incredible diver in her own right. In the past, she was a Queensland champion. She also has shot some incredible fish. She has shot southern bluefin tuna.
Well done, I'm so proud of you. Well done.
She shot big marlin.
Oh, there he is.
She shot sailfish and a really good diver.
Oh, look at that. Look how beautiful it is. Well done.
But one fish Nikki hasn't shot is mulloway or jewfish. Jewfish are a species that are very common around northern New South Wales and southeast Queensland. They are a fish that most spear fishermen want to shoot in this area. Some days they can be so challenging to find. They are striking fish, really beautiful. You can see right down the side of their lateral line they have diamond spots. Every time I shoot a jewfish, I'm absolutely stoked. Jewfish for Nikki were that frustrating species that she'd never been able to find. Jewfish are like this for most spearos, and many people struggle to find their first one. This day we decide we're going to go and target jewfish. We're going to go look for mulloway. Nikki and Bryson have spent time targeting jewfish. There have been a number of times looking shore diving, boat diving, and just on one occasion, Nikki had one opportunity, but she's not yet been able to shoot a jewfish. Me and Andrew Jones came down, put the boat in the water, and we headed round to Bryson and Nikki's house to pick Nikki up. Bryson was away working in Western Australia, so just Nikki come diving. Fortunately, Dad was looking after their bubs, and we went out looking for dew. The conditions weren't quite the best. It had been blowing all week. Swell was up, it was quite rough. I figured the water might be okay, but with all the swell, it would have been pretty stirred up. We pulled up the first spot and we noticed that there was very little current, which meant we could actually drop the anchor and all hop in together. Chucked the anchor over, I hopped in the water, did a quick dive just to see what was going on the bottom. I came down near the bottom and just hung there for a little bit, and surgeon fish just milled around me everywhere, and as I was laying there, bait fish scattered past me really quick. I got a bit excited and I was thinking there's no doubt that jewfish have been here feeding, and I figured we're going to catch a jew. Once Nikki jumped in the water, we decided we're going to team up and dive together every dive. I wanted to film her if she was going to shoot that jewfish. I wanted to make sure I got it on film. Now, quite often you watch our videos and sometimes we just jump in and we shoot the fish straight away. It wasn't to be a day like that today. The area is really fishy, and the first couple of dives when Nikki dove, it just looked like there was going to be a jew as soon as we got to the bottom. Now, over the next 2 hours, Nikki and I dove time after time. I followed her to the bottom some of the time she followed me. On one of the dives, as I followed her to the bottom, the swell just pushed her right through this group of boulders. You know, I was actually really impressed with Nikki. I thought she might quit after probably an hour, and we just went dive for dive. But I was sort of excited because every time I got to the bottom, I could see there was heaps of bait, I could see those sergos, and it just looked so fishy. One dive, I hit the bottom and I was looking up through the surgeons, and I noticed a really nice turtle just come swimming above my head. When we hit the surface together, that turtle just came straight up off the bottom and came look at us. Next couple of dives, I noticed the bait was starting to get fidgety again, and it wasn't just hugging the bottom, it was sitting high in the water column. To me, when I see that, it always just makes me feel like jewfish are in the area because they're spooking that bait and making it sit a little bit higher. We probably moved along the reef 200, 300 meters, and I just was starting to get really excited. It just felt like I was going to see a jew any second. Again, after about 2 hours, I was really worried that Nikki had had enough, but in fact, she was just as keen as she was when we first started swimming together. We did this one dive, we'll land on the bottom, and I could hear jew really loud around me. And I just thought, we are so close to those fish. We swam forward 30 or 40 meters, then I breathed up and dove. And as I got halfway down, I looked up just to see what was going on, and a little snapper swam straight past my head. After that, I heard a big spook on the bottom, and I headed down towards the bottom and noticed that the bottom was quite stirred up because of the swell. There was surging fish everywhere, and I could hear jewfish spooking all around me. I hung on the bottom and waited, and Nikki come down beside me and tapped me on the shoulder and pointed as the jewfish had been right behind me and spooked as she came to the bottom. We hung there together, and that school just comes straight up to us. Nikki had to swing her gun, and she shot that fish perfectly. We headed to the surface. We were so stoked.
When I hit the bottom now, I could just hear him so loud. I'm like, they've got to be here somewhere. And then I heard this big little spook. I'm like, they've got to be here somewhere. Oh, girl. That is so cool. That's epic. That is epic. That is the coolest. He's a good fish too. They spooked and I'm like, oh, they're not going to come back, the dogs.
Yeah, well, they spooked when I came down, and I was like, oh, damn! No, you were just looking like
I'm on the bottom, all I can hear is just jew croaking. I'm like, and spooking. I'm like, the school's got to be right here.
Right behind you.
That's awesome. So
That was
epic.
so cool. Thank you. Wow.
That's a really nice jew. That's like 15 kilos, at least. Maybe better. They were all big jew too.
It didn't go hard.
You stoned it.
Yeah.
You snapped the spine. I swam over and picked it up because I knew the spear hadn't gone through.
Yeah, I thought I did, but I was sort of looking forward to that, you know, that infamous, like, how they go hard first and then
Snap the
die.
spine straight up.
Yeah. Yeah.
We spent some time filming, laughing. I ripped the camera off my head, make sure I filmed Nikki as she held that fish under the water.
How's it having to shoot over my head? That's so cool.
This was a massive jew. When we weighed it later on, it weighed 20 kilos. We headed back to the boat.
Cracking jew. Oh, he's a beautiful fish. Look at the colours in the shoulder. Nikki! Bryson, go, you stay at work, buddy. She's got the jew sorted, mate.
It's quite funny trying to watch Nikki lift that fish into the boat. It was way too heavy for her.
Show on the floor. If you can. If you can. Up. Nicky!
Just as Nikki climbed into the boat, we drifted over a little shallow area and a wave broke and nearly broke over the back of the boat.
Ooh. Yeah, we might, no, don't drive, mate. My line's there. Let's get the line out, Jones. Got the line out. I'm glad that broke then. How's the timing of the break? Nikki! Hold that critter up, girl. Bryson! We've got a new Jew master, Bry. You're done. What's a good Jew? Big fat Jew. How did it happen, Nick?
So Tim went down first and then I followed, and as he was perched on the rock I sort of looked behind and I saw the school just coming in, and then they spooked a little bit and I'm thinking, look this way Tim, because we were looking west I think it was, and yeah, I got down there and could hear them, couldn't see them, I think they were getting closer, and then all of a sudden they sort of came in around to my right, but between them was me and them was Tim obviously, so that made it a bit tricky. And then I had to get my gun over the top of Tim, and luckily I managed to get one and stoned it.
And smashed him. And let me say, it is a cracker. Big dog Jew. You pumped, girl?
Yeah, I'm stoked.
It's been a while looking for those things.
I know.
Crushed it. And crushed it. Didn't even choke, she just smashed it. You wouldn't have choked, would you, Jones?
Never choked on it.
Never choked on a Jew.
After we chucked the fish in the boat, we put in the esky, Nikki told the story, and I went and re-anchored and thought I might jump in and see if I can find myself a Jew. First dive, I swam down near the bottom and I'd heard Jew spook as I headed to the bottom. I hung on the bottom, there was fish all around me. Surgeon fish, bait. It's a little bit stirred still as the swell was actually getting worse and the tide was dropping, so trying to lay on the bottom was quite difficult. But I lay there, hung there, and a really nice jewfish swam straight past me. On the way back to the surface, Nikki and I just knuckled and she'd watched the whole thing from above.
Let's go get Paul. We crushed a Jew!
That's so cool.
Thanks, girl.
Ah, okay.
We jumped in the boat, pulled the anchor, and took a few photos as we were heading home.
Baby. You cracked the monster. A bit useless.
No, you're not.
Good job, girl.
No doubt straight away, we'll text Bryson. Bryson, you're missing out. Hope you're having fun at work. Nikki's shooting great fish. It was awesome. It was pretty rough at this stage and Nikki had done great working so hard to get that jewfish. We decided, you know what, let's pull the pin and let's go home. We headed home and we pulled up at their back door, went and knocked on the door, and Blair, Bryson and Nikki's girl, wanted to come out and see that fish.
She got one. Come on, let's go see it.
Let's go see the
Look what Mummy did.
It's enormous.
It's bigger than you, Blair.
Look how big it is.
Oh, how good's the Jew smell? It's awesome.
Look, you touch it?
Big fish.
Big Jew. And Uncle Tim shot a little baby.
After Blair had a good look at the fish and was stoked for a mum, we pulled out the fish and took a couple of photos. Now, taking photos in this situation isn't just about photos. It's a memory that is going to last for a long time. for a fish that Nikki had spent a lot of time targeting. So we dropped Nikki off and we headed home, and I'll be honest, the whole trip home, I was absolutely beaming. I was so stoked because Nikki did the hard work. She dove and dove and dove, and she got the rewards of a really great fish. Now, as always, I hope that we're encouraging you to do the hard work yourself, to go out, find those fish, set some goals, and meet those goals. I really hope that this continues to inspire you to do that. As always, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your comments, and we hope that you can like, subscribe, click that bell so you don't miss out on these upcoming episodes.